And welcome back for the final segment of this episode of Chatting with the Chamber. And for this segment, we are joined by Jenny Hiltbrand of Kehl School of Dance. Jenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Jenny, why don't we start by having you tell me a little bit about Kehl and how you work with students in Verona and all over the Madison area.
Well, Karl, we, believe it or not, are the oldest dance school in the United States. Kehl was started by my great-grandfather in 1880, and we've been actually teaching in the Verona area since the 1970s. We started in the school district, and I've even continued teaching back in the 1990s. I taught at Sugar Creek Elementary School in the gym after school. So we have been building up our Verona clientele ever since then. And I actually still have some dancers that were in my class in the Sugar Creek Elementary School in the 1990s that are still dancing with us today. And of course they're in high school and they're wonderful dancers. We have over 250 Verona families that we serve today.
Okay. And in addition to the location here on Verona Road, you have locations in Middleton and where?
Middleton and Wanakee.
All right. So how many total students do you have?
Total students we have around, it fluctuates between 600 and 650 depending on what season
Okay.
we're running.
And I think you sort of hinted at the answer to this question a few seconds ago, but how did you personally get into the dance business?
Well, of course, I've been dancing since I could walk. It is our family business. I took it over from my mom in 1990, so I'm the fourth generation Kehl to run and own and operate the studio. I've always had a passion for dance. Love to dance, love to teach, love to choreograph, so I'm trying to continue the family legacy.
Okay. And were you a performer when you were younger, maybe even still now?
Of course, I get on stage every year at our dance performances. I danced, of course, with my family all through my childhood. I danced with a local jazz company called Jazzworks until that shut down. And really then I mostly focus on just teaching.
Do you have a personal favorite style of dance that you like to perform?
Perform, I would say my personal favorite to perform would be probably the jazz style, but my favorite to teach would be ballet or tap. How interesting is that?
I learned tap a while back for the first time, and it's a lot harder than it looks, folks. Though it's a tremendous amount of fun, even at, let's say, an advanced age, to learn tap. I had a great time. What has been the greatest challenge to the dance business and Kehl here, doing business in the Verona area?
I would say that the greatest challenge for me has been to remain a leader in the dance industry. Of course, we have been, established for a very long time, and I really want to continue the legacy. So, using the best practices of my family business, like great customer service, and still being able to bring in the new and greatest things. The dance world is always evolving, so to bring in the new and greatest things from the dance world, I definitely try to stay on top of that, but sometimes it can be challenging balancing those things.
And speaking of challenges, and kind of hinting with what I was talking about before with me learning dance, I know you get a lot of girls. You get a lot of boys come in and dance?
Not as many as we'd like. It's really tough to get the dads on board. They're very, sports focused, and they're, not really sure what the whole dance world is all about. So sometimes we'll have brothers that come to the dance school and see their little sisters dance and decide that they want to do it. So, we get them that way. A lot of the parents like you that have had exposure to dance or theater in their past know how important it is to get their child early on engaged in the sport of dance. And also there's, with how we've evolved with street dancing, the hip hop genre is huge right now in the music industry and the dance world. So we have been able to draw some boys in that way.
Well, I can tell you, as an amateur theater person, having a little bit of dance background would have been a big help. And it's it's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Is there an image thing that you have to kind of overcome sometimes with boys? You mentioned sports.
Yeah, like I said, it's really not the kids, it's more the parents. Kids really take their cues from messages that they get from their parents, and when the parents are unsure about something, then the kids are unsure about it.
Right. So, yeah, I wish I was a better dancer, actually.
You can come on
That's
in
right.
and put those tap shoes back
That's
on.
right.
I've got an adult tap class that runs on Monday nights.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. Actually.
Why,
So we'll get into that a little bit
age?
later.
Yeah.
All right. If there was one thing you could tell the viewing audience about Kehl School of Dance that maybe they don't know or just don't think about, what would that be?
I would probably say, even more than Kehl, I would say about the dance industry itself. I think that people have this perception that dance lessons are really expensive. Have to buy all these fancy costumes and that it costs a lot of money. And really, when you compare it to other activities for children like karate or music or swim, we're actually less expensive in many cases. So to get quality dance training, you can come in and get great training for as low as $46 a month. Yes, you do get professionally made costumes, but we try to keep them at a very, very reasonable cost for families. We are very family oriented, and that's probably the biggest draw for Kehl is we make it affordable for families. We serve families that have often multiple children, and so just trying to overcome that perception that dance is really expensive, and I'm not sure if my daughter wants to be a dancer, so I don't really want to go spend all this money.
Sure.
And really, unless you want to pursue it competitively, it's not that expensive.
Okay. And do you have any interesting student or performance stories you can share that kind of illustrate what dance is all about and how much fun this can be?
Well, I probably have a lot of them, but rather than call out a particular
We don't want to mention
student
any
or
names,
family, I would just say, we focus a lot of our energies on our very young dancers, getting them interested and engaged in dance at a young age. We have some fantastic starter programs like Fairy Tale Ballet and Bebop, which is little kids, hip hop and movement classes. And as we get to know them and as they get to know us on a weekly basis, it's pretty amazing the things that they will tell us about their families and things that they're interested in. And they'll walk into the class one day and say, "Miss Jenny, I'm going to be a princess when I grow up." So I have lots of fond stories and memories of the little kids.
And I suppose, just having raised two boys myself, and sports isn't for everybody necessarily, and everybody kind of needs an outlet. And I know theater and dance has actually been a really fun outlet for me and one of my children as well.
I get a lot of kids coming in at all different ages, wanting that experience. And again, if we can get them engaged in the right programming, they absolutely love it. I have very, very few kids that once they try dance really think it's not fun and energetic and engaging and exciting for them. Getting on stage is, of course, a big part of our business and the dance business, and it really teaches the kids how to prepare themselves for that experience and be organized for that experience, and they walk away with incredible self-esteem from an experience like that.
So, to wrap up, what's the best way to contact you if someone was interested in starting with dance, learning more about the studio, those kinds of things?
We're open 6 days a week from 10 until 8, and we have a fantastic website, KehlDance.com. Our schedules are online. You can register online 24/7. You can explore our programs. Try our website.
And for those people who have trouble spelling like me, that's Kehl dance.com. If they want, what's the location, the address here in the Verona Road?
We're located at 5117 Verona Road. We're just past McKee Road, so we're really close to Target and Hy-Vee.
Right. So you have to get off at Williamsburg Way and take the frontage road up here, just so everybody knows.
Correct.
And in the building here is the Design Center, is that what they call it?
Yes, this used to be the Design Mart, and I guess it still is. It used to be a place for home builders to
Right.
come and do the full shopping experience, but of course with the downturn in the economy, we're now going to call it the Dance and Design Mart because we now share location here with Arthur Murray.
So, yeah, I saw that, the ballroom dance across the hallway there. So for people who need landmarks, like I often do, it's in the Design Mart area of Verona Road. And just quickly, we're standing in front of some of the merchandise here, but there's also a big dance studio I saw, and all kinds of facilities here. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we wrap
Yep.
up?
We are a full-service dance store. We have shoes, tights, dance clothing, bags, all accessories, and we are a store that is open to anyone in the community. We have 3 very well-appointed large dance spaces that, are running quite frequently.
All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for being on our show, Jenny.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Chatting with the Chamber. We'll be back in about a month with 3 more businesses. Till then, we'll see you soon.